That was a lot of things that I think you did. I'm still a little confused. You guys know a dragon?
Yeah.
Well, the answer to that question, yes. But the answer to your other question, no.
So that I was making for them would make whatever it was put in taste delicious and great, but it would also dull your senses so that they would be able to take your minds. I mean, that's the whole point, is they wanted it to be as prolific and available as possible. I'm still worried that the Ocean Keeper is...
The Ocean Keeper?
Yeah. The terrible place, and they had the underwater.
She is the head of Sweet Shallows, the ranking authority. You don't know what that means in terms of the Kraken Society. Teleporting people from somewhere else onto the rune.
You can teleport people into Skullport?
There are giant dragons that serve their interests, to say nothing of the standing army. Just a very capable mage.
Cato was a very capable mage, and we cut him in half.
Our house is still burned down then?
Don't know. I left very quickly. It was too painful to go back. Maybe
I was
maybe we can now.
If you guys had a roof or something, because I currently have your club.
Oh.
We have a roof, and you will have. Be careful. Don't worry.
We'll make you safe and comfortable for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just. That was a lot of things that I think you did. I'm still a little confused. You guys know a dragon?
Yeah.
Well, the answer to that question, yes. But the answer to your other question is no. We do know a dragon or two, but
Let me pause this better. Do you have wine?
Yes. Well, Vex, what's the what are you serving right now in the castle?
Well, I'm thinking we've got that new worm juice that we were thinking about making.
Never drink the whiz.
Vex is what we call a trickster, and doesn't know when it's appropriate. I'm going to slap him on the back. Doesn't know when it's appropriate.
That was the whole point. Is that what I was making for them would make whatever it was put in taste delicious and great, but it would also dull your senses so that they would be able to take your minds.
How much would you charge to do something like that?
Let's go to the castle and continue this conversation.
Hold on.
If we're not there.
Hold on. Vex.
What?
I see what you're trying.
You heard that?
I did hear that.
That was a private conversation.
Of course. Let's give her a few days.
Yeah,
of freedom.
She shouldn't be forced to do that. But if she were paid to do that,
of course, as a vocation, absolutely. Surely it wouldn't remind her of her imprisonment.
Also, I don't know why you want to do that. They have people here. They would take advantage. I mean, that's the whole point. Is they wanted it to be as prolific and available as possible, so that their agents would be able to take the minds of people in power or with resources or in their way, or just had information that they needed that weren't forthcoming. As basically what you're suggesting, well, that's exactly what they want. They would literally pay you if you wanted to distribute the whiz from your giant castle and literally every hall in Waterdeep or up the north.
Wow. And obviously, we're not going to take them up on that. Isn't that right, Vex?
We wouldn't let it fall into the wrong hands for sure.
That's the point. There's not wrong hands. It's all good hands. They just want everybody to drink it, so that everybody is susceptible to their dominations, or I think I saw they turned somebody's brain to jelly.
We've seen that a couple times. don't worry. We will be working on stopping the distribution of this. It's on the list. For now, you need your own bed and as much non-tainted alcohol as we can provide you.
Gonna.
I think we could do with the rest. We could all do with the rest.
Sure.
Yeah. Just I'm still worried that the Ocean Keeper is.
The Ocean Keeper?
Yeah. Yeah. I think one time when we went to the terrible place and they had to underwater.
She is the head of Sweet Shallows, the priestess. She was kind of a squid lady, a little bit. Her title would be the ranking authority. You don't know what that means in terms of the Kraken Society or anything, but it is a position of power and prestige. Yeah. She said, "Yeah, but I'm just worried about. I'm sure the Ocean Keeper is not going to stop. I don't know what."
Well, let's think about that.
I feel like a castle up in the sky is probably a good place, like safety-wise.
How do you
Yes.
get to it?
We have a couple of ways. We could do that. That might cause a panic.
Also, I think dragons aren't allowed in Waterdeep.
They're probably not. No,
It's
it's for good reason.
It's a ward with some powerful magic. It just starts disintegrating.
Well, let's not do that then.
At a minimum, they're certainly highly frowned upon. So,
if you don't mind, one of our preferred methods is another magical way of transporting that Fae controls, but it is a little disorienting if you haven't done it before. How comfortable are you with plants?
I used to be pretty comfortable with them, but now I fear I am opening myself up to some new things.
I cast transport via plants on the nearest plant and just
Just yank them through.
Yep.
So she walks through the tree and was like, "Oh, we're on the castle.
Yeah.
That tree is alive."
He's a good guy.
Hi, tree. Hello there, little one. Welcome to. What are we calling it? Cabaret? No. What is this place's name? I don't usually greet guests, Faye. They usually just ask me to threaten to throw people overboard if they get drunk.
The first or second, I'm not sure.
Vex, what are we calling this place now?
Oh shit. Maybe we should we should do a rebrand. We'll call it the T for Tuesday nights.
T. Well, you're
Yeah,
already
we can make
building
little-
another casino somewhere else, so the castle in the sky is a wonderful
With
place
diamonds.
for now.
Yes.
Yes. But regardless, we should have plenty of personal rooms here still, right? You haven't overtaken all of those yet?
No.
That's quite
Plenty of
okay.
space.
Perfect.
Plenty of space. All right.
So you guys are ushered over. You do own the place, so yeah, you get some quiet rooms, some space up there. It is in the early morning, so it's not exactly happening. There are a couple people having brunch on the terrace. Lots of eggs, Benny, crab cocktail, etc.
Fancy toast.
Fancy toast, yeah, the guaciest of toast. As you kind of take a moment, Pixien is getting settled. At this point, she now has 2 arms. She's very excited about it.
Amazing.
Food one hand, food the other hand. I guess I'm just worried what the Ocean Keeper is going to be trying to do now. I assume she'll probably be trying to teleport some more people in to retake control or to stamp out whatever it was you guys did down there.
You can teleport people into Skullport?
No. I think what happened is I didn't see it myself, but I definitely overheard a lot of shouting. There was an old lady, that same old lady, and they wanted to use her. It was kind of a way to get in. I don't know what they did or they said or they talked about, but about a dozen people, their skeletons walked away while it was still in their body.
Mm.
You know, that
That's-
actually makes me feel better.
The skeleton just kind of walked away and just went further down into Undermountain. And then for a while, their rest of their tissues just kind of flopped. And then I guess they died because they couldn't breathe anymore.
Right,
couldn't,
right.
Pump diaphragms. It was apparently incredibly violent and grotesque. Someone else almost threw up from just being near. Anyways, they stopped bugging the old lady after that.
Right.
And what happened is the Ocean Keeper teleports them to a beach somewhere outside Waterdeep that has a concealed cave system. And then you can use the cave system to go to the underwater river that goes to Skullport. So she just teleports them from somewhere to right outside this cave system. And then one of the crew, whether it was the hobgoblins or the thugs, kind of would just go in. And of course, if anybody tried to give them or their boats trouble, they had these giant sea dragon things that would just, eat
I think we
troublemakers.
take one or two of them. Not now. Need a rest. But would you be able to help identify the beach if we flew you around?
I haven't seen it. I know that's how they came in,
Okay.
but I don't know. I just know it's somewhere nearby.
Okay. That's fine. But that is excellent enough information. And honestly, I don't want to put you in harm's way as much. Suffice it to say that your sister is very powerful. And we have been working towards stopping this Ocean Keeper and who she works for quite some time. We will track down this beach, and if we can, we'll seal up the cave, or at least cause enough ruckus there that they won't be able to use it anymore. And
She
then
kind of looks at you for a minute, and the longer you're talking, she
what's wrong?
spending teleporting people from somewhere else on Faerun. And there are giant dragons that serve their interests, to say nothing of the standing army. I think a bit of rocks isn't going to do so much for them as it is going to be a mild inconvenience.
I understand. I want to
also-
delay them while we attack them.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably makes more sense, because if you made a big enough ruckus to hurt her, you might be able to get the other agents to pull back to defend her. Because otherwise, you just have a bunch of greedy, avaricious, power-hungry cult mongers who would just be very happy to take over all the drones the second there's a power vacuum. But if you've made a big enough threat that all the lieutenants would be able to bamf back, then maybe you would just cut off a lot of the heads of the snake, and then there'd just be a bunch of dumb drones that would, fizzle out because they didn't have leadership.
We do have a plan to assault where
I
this
hope
Ocean
I really
Keeper
hope
is.
it's better than to put rocks in front of the dragons.
Listen, I didn't mean put rocks. I meant make the cave whole
Not
again,
think
like
this.
magical. Not put rocks in front of there.
I'm sure the dragons don't know
How
how to
much
do
do
it.
you know about the Ocean Keeper?
I know she's incredibly powerful. I know she can freely teleport and do other powerful magics.
Did that weirdo talk about her very often?
Kato?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she would give them orders. The Ocean Keeper would give them what to do or marching orders. She would indirectly be making requests for me to alter the reagents I'd be using, or like they wanted it to be more diluted or stronger. They wanted a special batch made. If they wanted to add it to wine, to bring it up to the surface, things like that. So yeah, I never had to interact with her. Apparently, she's just a very capable mage.
Cato was a very capable mage, and we cut him in half. So we do have some experience fighting.
Yeah.
I do understand your trepidation, but you will be pretty safe here, or wherever you choose to be. But Waterdeep is pretty safe. The Ocean Keeper's forces have attacked here before, but we were able to fight them off. She may not have, but her boss did, and he's pretty big. So
I don't even know her boss.
it's fine.
Be thankful.
It wouldn't prefer to say its name.
Can I don't have animal messenger prepared because I can talk to animals. Can I just ask a pigeon and take a message to Vaja just to hang out with us for a little while? Can I just get a really nice pigeon?
I mean, if you write a note for the pigeon to deliver,
Yeah.
and then you make an animal handling check, I'll give you advantage because you can communicate with it. But otherwise, I was saying, you just have a pigeon fly up to this mage and just start squawking at her.
No. No. It's
Picture this
the
phenomenally powerful mage going.
no. It's a Sherlock. It's a Sherlock. Come of convenience. If not
If not,
convenient,
come
come
anyways.
anyways. That's a note. I still know what it means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me animal handling advantage. Wow.
Pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
pretty solid.
No, yeah, that pigeon graduated summa cum laude. It absolutely gets full straight line, 100%. Just shoots right off. I'm sorry. Did you just talk to that pigeon? That's with
People
me.
talk to animals all the time. It's not weird. It's not that weird.
Kind of the thing that she does. Yeah, she's awesome.
Faye talks to a lot of plants and animals. Alice talks to a lot of. Well, never mind.
Oh, Alice, do you have an animal friend?
Alice has a friend.
Thanks, Uthal. Well, I wasn't going to go into it.
Invisibly sitting on your shoulder, going back and forth on his feet.
The thing is, obviously, when you left, I was a very different person than I am today, and this is going to sound really bad, but it's fine now. But I kind of sort of sold my soul to something bad so that I could have warlock powers.
It sounds bad.
But
Just a wee bit.
I am current.
Are you eating that? And this flying imp kind of makes itself visible and spears a piece of toast off of a plate with his tail and just pulls it over. And he's just sitting there on the side of the table, and then pulls over a comically large thing of alcohol.
Yeah, that's why this guy's here. But I'm working on
Ignore me.
basically undoing that deal. Especially now.
Super complicated.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult, but just to emphasize that my heart's in the right place, and I just really, really, now that I've found you, especially. I've gotten what I want out of all of this, and we'll figure it out. But in the meantime, we've got some bigger fish to fry. The fights that might be on the horizon and such. So, but we are very strong because we've been working at this for a long time. We've been through a lot, and we'll talk over some ale or some wine, and I'll tell you the long story, but that's kind of in a nutshell what's happening. Oh, that guy? He he lives by a code, and part of that is to do what I tell him to do. So
Say what you want
It's
about imps. At
fine.
least they have an ethos.
He was sort of instrumental in us finding you. So he's
Yeah.
helped us get out of some tight spots over the years, for sure.
It's very true. I am very helpful.
I'm glad you came back. I saw the whole thing and the turrets
Oh, when I got blasted out of the sky trying to do reconnaissance for this broad.
most recently. Be nice.
Hilarious. I mean,
Sorry, I'm
you
just
have to-
reeling from the pain from being impaled by a tree that is almost as thick as I am tall.
I respect that because that tree hit me and it hurt a lot.
Thank you.
well, credit where credit was due. I mean, we did not know about those things until you so directly demonstrated them to us. So thank
Here
you.
to help.
Yes.
It should be mentioned that, yes, Alice's powers were instrumental both in saving you and for saving the city. That has been... It has weighed on me in my desire to judge some of her deals, we'll say. The power that she has gained has been very useful in saving, it's not an exaggeration to say, thousands of lives.
It's true.
When you say that, she starts getting a little more somber. And it sounds like you've done a lot for a lot of people. Done enough to offset how many people have lost their minds or their lives.
Mhm.
That's what I
I can't imagine what that must feel like, but obviously you weren't there by choice, and you did what you had to do to survive. From here we have a chance to forge our own paths together now. So I'm thankful for that.
maybe rebuild the old house or make a new house.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Looks like house isn't that hard of a stretch. And I'm saying that with a new hand in a floating castle.
I mean, I think the castle is a great, at least a short-term solution because of its defensibility,
I just remember, Dad was always so proud with the crest over the fireplace.
Yes. Well, maybe during your stay here, you can help me work on blueprints, a plan. Obviously, we'll have to work a lot from memory.
We'll make some new changes.
Yeah, upgrades.
I want to have to share a bathroom. Sorry.
Yes. Oh
we
my
were
God.
kids then.
Seriously. I'm still as messy as ever, so you don't want to share a bathroom with me. That's true.
One benefit of escalating our adventures has been we can afford our own rooms now,
That's right.
which is very helpful. When we first shared rooms, it turns out we have very different living styles.
Now our bathrooms have bathrooms. It's great.
Now our bathrooms have bathrooms. It's great. That's the sign of...
Oh, that's what it looks like. Yeah, success.
That's how you know you made it. Yep.
You are very big.
Oh, you don't even know. I'll step back and
Sorry,
I'll go.
I wasn't trying to do. I just mean I don't think I've seen anyone quite as much of you.
Oh, a Goliath? Well, I guess I'm more than that now. A giant?
Yes. And-
Yes. Yes, a giant.
Wow.
A half giant, I think. I don't know how to describe myself. I'm giant adjacent.
So, are there big things all up and down the north that you guys have been dealing with for all these years in your journey to find me?
Pretty much. Yes. There was
Giants,
a lot of
you
things,
said?
really. But there were problems with giants. Those have mostly been worked out now.
That's good.
Yes.
I remember years ago they were putting out there was all these Lords Alliance banner that was giving out gold for giant heads. So
Yes.
they're all destroyed now?
That's not how they've been dealt with. We've reached a peaceable accord at this time.
You reasonably?
They can. And they say the same thing about you. Not you specifically, but you as a group. I'm hoping to open more conversations so that they can both see that both sides can be reasoned with.
I mean, you've also done like negotiations with dragons.
A little bit, yeah, actually. We did have to do aggressive negotiations with a few dragons as well. But
Oh, like, wait. Did you guys ever have to fight Old Snarl?
ironically, no.
Oh,
Have you heard of Imarith?
yes.
You don't have to hear about her anymore.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
I remember hearing stories about her, the Doom of the Desert.
Right.
There would that's an evil lich that would ride her back, and she would fly around in a thunderstorm and shoot poison sand and have bunches of statues. It's amazing how much I know about Imarith. It's incredibly unlikely, and yet here we are. That I remember these stories from my girlhood.
They kept you going in dark times. Those comforting stories of the doom of the desert.
Yeah, lots of old Faerunian history.
Kind
Well-
of nerd, so it makes sense. Yeah.
That makes sense. Suffice it to say that she's no longer the doom of the desert. She's one with the desert now. Alice was very instrumental in killing her.
Goodness, I've done so many things now that
Who even
sometimes it just
remembers?
feels like a blur. It just feels like a blur. But yeah. I guess you could say I maybe just a little bit killed a dragon. Just a little bit.
Yeah. And there's that time you fought the Kraken too.
I'm sorry, what?
Mm,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did do that.
you guys are mean. I'm just gonna take the little bit of ale that's left in my mug and just kind of slowly pour it over Lex's head. Yeah, so there was that.
We
Day
fought
in
quite a
life.
few creatures, and we are all
Yeah.
here together now.
Is the Kraken,
That would be the boss, yes.
and that's what you're gonna go fight?
Eventually.
Mm.
As you said, we have work to do to cut off the network. We have actually plans. Anyway, we can discuss these later if you feel interested. I just didn't know if you'd be interested in the intricacies of what's happening next.
Yes.
Wait,
No, I've had enough interesting. But
definitely.
very happy to know things are happening to do that. And if there's anything if there's anything that I would know, I would absolutely, I would be happy to tell you whatever, anything that I have or know or something.
Excellent.
I mean, I guess we should know, if you could possibly know, how far the substance went.
Oh,
If it took us.
I think for me and what I was doing in Skullport, I think it was relatively close by to Waterdeep. The reason they set up in Skullport was to directly poison Waterdeep. From what I overheard, there were other locations set up for other major cities.
Oh.
So this was just the Waterdeep branch. It's entirely possible some of the stuff went elsewhere, but I know the majority of what I did was mostly for Waterdeep. And occasionally someone would bring in really fancy elvish wine or some poison. I guess it wasn't poison. I guess it was just dwarvish spirits. When they had specific targets that they wanted to make sure that they would it would basically be offered as a gift, right? You go to their house and say, "Here's some wine. Here's some ale. Here's some
Yeah.
liquor." And then the next day someone would come saying, "Hi, how are you?" And then you're a marionette on a string.
Yeah. That makes sense too. I do stuff with plants. Do you know what it was that you used to make the stuff?
Mhm.
If you can tell me at some point, it'd be useful to know. If there
You're not gonna try and make
me?
more?
Oh God, no. But I need to know where these things can be found so I can see.
Oh
who
yeah,
else may
no.
have
If
been
you
there.
find any house that's got those plants growing in the window box or whatever, you should just burn it.
Oh yeah,
like
well
that
I was
house.
thinking like planes. I could just. I don't know.
I'm just-
Out of existence. I don't know. I get some plants. Plants are weird.
Can you go to heaven?
Maybe. I've never done
Technically.
it. I'm kind of starting small.
If there's like a vacation plan or like a touring group where I'm just saying I'm amenable.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I'll be happy to tell you, give you a list of those plants. Quite a few funguses, honestly.
That makes sense.
I think it's the umami. People just love that.
Fungi get a bad rap. I tend to like them.
You're a fun guy.
Thanks, Alex.
I try.
Have they been just like dumping stuff into the Waterdeep water supply since you've been gone?
Oh, well, not the water supply, but they've basically used it as a way to introduce. Yeah, I mean, it's not into the public water, but I assume a lot of ale houses would have had some exposure to it. It's hard to say, right? I made a lot of it, so I'm sure a lot of people were exposed. But also, I'm sure the way it sounds like what they did is they expanded with people who had a potential to propagate or had a large reach. So, just because 20 people in a pub would have been susceptible to mind control, they would have probably only taken the owner of the pub, and then maybe his number two or something. So I'm unsure, but I've been making it for way too long. But yeah, they mostly tried to target individuals, or like specific people here.
Yeah.
And then, for people who got in their way, that's, just because you're more susceptible to being mind controlled, you're also in many cases more susceptible to having your brain leak out through your ears, from a lot of mental attacks as well.
Yeah.
I saw them do that one as well. I also saw Kato eat some guy's brain.
Damn, just like open his head.
Yeah. His mouth kind of split open. Yeah, and there was sharper teeth in there, and a beak back where the throat was. And
Can
then
I
he just kind of cored a guy's forehead open.
Sounds squid-like or like octopus-like, doesn't it?
Yeah, certainly.
Mhm.
Very, beaky.
Gross.
I know that someone is going to ask me. I have a couple of names. Do they sound familiar to you? Gaius and Claudia and Virginia. Does those names sound like anyone who may have passed through Skullport?
I don't know if they passed through, but I have heard their names before.
It's been a while though, right?
Yeah, no, a long while. No, I definitely heard about them. They had a big, I guess the last thing I heard about them is they had a big setback. There was some problem that happened with whatever arm that they were on.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, they're called arms. So I was part of the Waterdeep arm. There was another arm that was in some weird forest place that they didn't pronounce right. I don't remember it.
Yeah, it's hard for people to pronounce, but
yeah, they did not
then they're
know how to speak Elvish.
No, they did not. That's partly where they went wrong. Okay.
Okay, yeah, no. So they said that there was a big setback there, and they were having to do a lot of work to kind of try something else.
But not there, as far as you know.
Oh no, definitely there.
Well, it's probably been caught, but I should probably call home.
Yeah, there were a lot of them, and they were in a lot of places.
They have a lot of plans. They're tenacious.
And capable. Very capable.
So are we.
Right, yes, definitely.
Recently, we sealed up like this Shadowfell portal in the middle of the Great. That's pretty cool.
That was pretty nice.
I've heard
Pretty good
it's
at
very
fucking shit
lovely
up
there.
when we want to.
I've been there. Grandma said it was very nice. Yeah, I'll put that on the list too.
I'm going to make a run through the kitchen and just cast Detect Magic on the stuff we got down there.
Yeah, that's fair. The
Yeah.
alcohol. I will say, if this ends up where we have to tell a bunch of cities to stop drinking, we're going to be less popular than we are right now. Oh, great! The sober Tuesday
It's
nights.
probably fine. And the plus side, because Brottor, like, the Abbey, right, is supposed to be growing their own stuff to make the alcohol there. So this has to be a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just a little. The time is. Well, there's going to be a little bit of a lag. But
Look,
yes.
we regrew an entire fucking forest. I think between all of us, we could handle making plants and
That's true.
things
Is
happen.
that something the group wishes to do?
Mm.
Fabricate, plant growth, animated servants, treants.
Great.
That'd be fun.
Good. Down the list.
Put it on the list.
Put it on the list.
You're going to check the ladders, lead the stockhouse.
Larders.
For the booze, for magic booze. Yep, got it. Okay, while you are going through there, you do find, in fact, a half a dozen bottles that give you the little wingies.
Yeah.
And they're all very nice bottles.
Are they all like the same bottles? Like, would I be able to go find this label other places? And
This particular one is like there's 3 whites and 3 reds of the same. They're 2 different vineyards, but they are both fancy elvish wines.
Are they
It looks like they were, they're under the special reserve section. They're probably each 100 gold pieces for each bottle.
there. Okay. Well. Yep. Taking these out of circulation and giving them to Vaja whenever she comes back.
Is the same
Definitely
group that did the thing before with Squid and the Birdman?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me be delicate. Your presence escalates.
That's fair.
I
Yeah,
was gonna-
everything.
I was going
Yeah,
to put
tagline.
something else, but yeah, since you are good at escalating, is there any chance you're going to be taking that force and applying it somewhere else?
We are planning an assault on the Purple Isles. This is going to be not a full destruction, but a hit and run. Take out key targets on the Isles, make them pull back forces to repair and defend. We're trying to do this thoughtfully, which I know is a new one for us.